Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card, we are going to be finding out if the connection that you have on your mind is worth the wait, meaning will waiting for this connection ultimately make you happy? Now this reading is for connections of any kind, whether they be romantic or platonic in nature, and this reading is also for any level of 3D connectedness, if you will. So whether you have an extensive 3D relationship with this person, just a few brief encounters, or maybe you have never met in the 3D at all, it doesn't matter. Anybody is welcome to watch this reading. I will do my best to include interpretations for as many different scenarios and types of connections as possible, but please keep in mind that this is a general reading. So if there are some messages that don't really exactly fit for your situation or for the nature of your connection, please feel free to omit them or to change the interpretations as you see fit. In this reading, I do want to examine this question on a few different levels, because when we talk about waiting for a connection, that could mean like you are actively putting energy into it, you are actively making moves towards the person, or it could be more of a passive waiting where you are wishing or hoping, or it could be a kind of waiting where you've moved on with your life and you're not going to put energy into it anymore, but the door is kind of always open. You know, there's many different ways that we can wait for someone, so to speak. So I kind of want to examine all of those different scenarios and see what will really make you the happiest. So without further ado, let's go ahead and show you guys your options. There are 4 readings for you to choose from today, and each reading has a different crystal as well as a different tarot deck. I was just going to show you guys the options and then I remembered I did not decide on a card to show you. Normally I will show the same card from every deck, and it will have something to do with the theme of the reading. So let's do the Hanged Man, because it's like you're hanging, you're waiting, you want to know what's going to happen. I feel like that's an accurate representation of today's energy. So yes, without further ado, let's give you a close-up look at each of your options. Option number 1, your stone is Chrysocolla, your deck is the Serpentfire Tarot, and here is the Hanged Man. Option number 2, your stone is Goldstone, your deck is the Mystical Manga Tarot, and here is the Hanged Man. Option number 3, your stone is Citrine, your deck is the Wisdom Seekers Tarot, and here is the Hanged Man. And option number 4, your stone is Milky Quartz, your deck is the Gentle Heart Tarot, and here is the Hanged Man. So just in case you guys need a little bit more time to pick, here are all the options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one is calling to you the most. Take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number 1s, so if you guys chose the Chrysocolla and the Serpentfire Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about whether the connection you're thinking of is worth the wait. So I'm gonna start off this reading with the Transparent Tarot. If you guys haven't seen this one before, it's really cool. Basically the cards are see-through, so when you pile them on top of each other, it kind of makes different pictures. So I thought we could create a picture to represent the energy of your connection with this person to start off. Okay, so group number 1, can you please show me a picture to represent the energy of group 1's connection? Oh my goodness. So the very first card that's coming up is the 10 of Cups. Then we have the 8 of Wands. I kind of want to put it like that. Like, because it looks like he's going down and they're toasting to him. And then we have, oh my gosh, wow. We have the 2 of Pentacles. So I have to say this is a really, really positive energy to start off with. I'm going to start with the 10 of Cups. I think I'll just go through them in the order that they came out. when it comes to a relationship and we get the 10 of Cups, first of all, for me, this is like one of the happiest cards in tarot, point blank, period. But when it comes to a relationship specifically, this tells me that the person you're thinking about is somebody who could make you happier than you've ever imagined or happier than you've ever been. And I know that that might sound kind of like dramatic and over the top, but the 10 of Cups really is like your happily ever after, like your dream partnership, the person you settle down with in the long term, the person with whom you make your dreams come true. I'm getting the feeling when I look at the 10 of Cups that both you and the person you are thinking of are quite idealistic or quite romantic, just in the sense that you tend to daydream a lot about your fantasy future and you like to believe that it's something that you could really grasp in your hand one day, that your dream of happily ever after doesn't have to just be a dream. And when I look at the 8 of Wands here, it's like you guys are totally radiating positive energy into the universe. And I'm actually thinking of the 8 of Wands as a personification of the universe. You guys are down here emanating your positivity, emanating your faith in your dreams, and the universe is like, oh shit, let me zoom down here. Like the universe is favoring your positive energy and wants to meet you with even more positivity. So the more you guys allow yourselves to dream, to believe in your dreams, to let them make you happy, the universe is really going to respond to that and is really going to favor that. I just see this as such a mutually beneficial partnership, one that the universe is really, really happy about and is actually going to respond quite quickly to. The 8 of Wands represents energy that moves quite quickly, like there's many things happening at once. So it's almost like once you and this person decide that this is what you really want, nothing can stop you. And once the two of you commit to each other, or like you commit to this partnership, I feel like things are going to move pretty quickly for you guys in terms of how the relationship is progressing, but also just in terms of things that you want manifesting into your life. I could say that this is like a high vibrational connection, even though I don't really resonate with that kind of term, but I think it paints a picture of what I'm seeing here. Like you guys are very high vibe. Moving on to the 2 of Pentacles. This is also a really, really lovely card when it comes to relationships and partnerships. And I think I spoke about this in a reading recently when the 2 of Pentacles came out, but the Suit of Pentacles for me, it brings this groundedness to relationships. It brings this stability. And you can think of the Pentacles as like the value that you bring to the relationship or the effort that you put in. It's those tangible things that you can count on to be there for you. So when we have 2 Pentacles, and I love that in this card, they're on the same level, because sometimes sometimes it's like the Pentacles are being juggled in the card. They're on different levels. Here, they're on the exact same level. It's like an even playing field. It's like reciprocated energy. And this tells me that both you and this person are ready or are coming into an energy where you are both ready to show up and be there for each other and bring your equal efforts. And so the picture that I'm seeing here is like once you both come and offer your coin to each other and you make that promise, like we're gonna put equal effort into this connection, we're both gonna give our 100%, this is what we want, that's when the universe is just gonna rush in and start working magic in your life. It's like the universe loves that you are committing to your happiness. The universe loves that you are welcoming your happiness and you're like, I want this 10 of Cups, I want this happily ever after, and I'm gonna put in the work to make it happen. That is like the perfect recipe for the universe to come in and bring your blessings. And I just looked up and saw 555 on the camera. You guys might be seeing this number very frequently, but basically this means that powerful change is coming to you. Like a very transformative phase of your life is coming to you. And I'm seeing this as transformative in the happiest of ways. I think that this group has really, I think you've, for now, because life always happens in waves, but I think for now you have made it through a period of uncomfortable transitions and uncomfortable changes. And now it's time for you to experience happy changes. I'm just getting such, I love that, like right off the bat with group 1, we're starting with such a beautiful energy. I think, yeah, the universe is really, really happy about this connection. So let's take a look at some oracle cards as well. We have Perception. I love this one. We have Facade. Oh, okay. We have Obstacle. And I'm actually going to put, I'll put Obstacle here because I think the Facade is the obstacle. And then we have Travel. All right, so where should I start? First of all, with travel, for some of you guys, this could be somebody who is far away, like a long distance connection or an online connection, or maybe one of you is going to have to travel or relocate to make this work. If that doesn't resonate for you, it could also be indicating that as partners, you will travel a lot together. And I think that that can be the case whether this is a connection that is emotional in nature or like professional in nature. Whether that's like you're going on lovers getaways or business trips or whatever it might be, travel could be an important theme of this connection. I really, really like that Perception has come out here because this is a card that is all about like water your own grass before looking at someone else's lawn. I don't know. I know that there's an expression like that. I don't think I'm saying it right, but it's that idea of like the grass is always greener somewhere else, and it's tempting to just, run away to another lawn that looks greener. But if you really put in the work and tend to your own lawn, you'll see that there's already so much beauty and potential for happiness there. So I think with this Perception card coming out, especially related to what we just talked about with the 10 of Cups and the 2 of Pentacles, it's like you guys realize that the 10 of Cups is something you make. It's not something outside of you that you have to find. And I think when people have that mentality, they can go through life like, oh, my 10 of Cups is not here, I have to go somewhere else. Oh no, it's not here, it's not here, it's not here. Like, almost like traveling the world trying to find their 10 of Cups. But you guys have this knowing that the 10 of Cups is wherever I am. It's kind of like home is where the heart is, or home is wherever you are. If I pour love and if I pour my effort into where I currently am, it becomes the 10 of Cups. Like the potential for the 10 of Cups is already here. And I think that both you and this person have this mentality, or you're developing this mentality of like, I'm going to cherish my current partnership or my current partnerships. And I know that every partnership has its problems. There is no like perfect, never have to work a day in my life partnership out there. And if I spend my life looking for that outside of me, I'm not going to find the satisfaction and fulfillment that my heart is craving. This 10 of Cups comes when I embrace my current situation. Obviously, I'm going to put a disclaimer, provided there's no toxicity or like, you know what I mean. When I embrace my current situation and I work through the problems with my partner, this is where I find my 10 of Cups. And that's what this Perception card is all about. And I guess you could even say the 10 of Cups is all about your perception. It's all about your mindset toward the situation. I think it's really important to have this mentality because sometimes the 10 of Cups doesn't always feel like it. And are you going to run away every time the 10 of Cups stops feeling like it? I'm having a hard time with my words today, but it's like you're not going to run away the second things get tough. That's how I will put it. So this is a really, really beautiful card to have here. I like also the butterflies and the birds because butterflies are obviously a symbol of transformation. We just saw the number 555, which was confirming that as well. And birds, and actually the 8 of Wands too, are a symbol of communication. So I do think that regardless of the status of relationship you have with this person, whether you're very close or not so close yet, whether you're in contact or not in contact, I do think that some very, very important communication is coming soon, like very soon. And I think that you're entering into a phase of this connection where you are communicating a lot. Like you're communicating very frequently, you're communicating a lot of thoughts and emotions to each other. And actually, I think that this communication is how you are going to tend to your garden, is how you're going to work through your issues, is how you're going to recognize that you have this 10 of Cups that is waiting for you. Communication is the key for you guys. So moving on here, we have Facade. And like I mentioned before, I kind of want to read Facade and Obstacle together because I think that the Facade is the obstacle. And this was a card that was related to the heart, this green border. So this is all about like acting from a place of love. Here we have the solar plexus, which all chakras are beautiful energies, but when we have the solar plexus as an obstacle, this can be like your ego is getting in the way, or your fear of how you will be perceived is getting in the way, or a belief that your desires are not worthy of being expressed is getting in the way. So I think that this is definitely an obstacle that could be present when it comes to your communication. Like there's a need, there's a desire, there's a dream that I really want to communicate to this person, but I'm afraid of how I will be perceived. I'm afraid that it won't be seen as worthy, it won't be seen as valuable, it will be disregarded, it will be dismissed, so I'm just not going to communicate it. Looking at this adult and child walking together, this could have to do with like childhood issues where one or both of your concerns were not valued or were not listened to. So you're like, oh, okay, I guess they just don't matter. I guess I just won't communicate them. That could be something that needs to be overcome in order to make this connection work. But I also think, and this is really the first thing that came to my mind when I looked at these, it's like you need to be honest with yourself about what your 10 of Cups is. Because if you're so conscious of what people think of you and how people are going to evaluate the life that you live, you could consciously or unconsciously start to model your 10 of Cups, your happily ever after, based on what you think other people want your life to look like, or based on what society says your life should look like. And it looks like one or both of you is just not being entirely honest with yourself right now about what your 10 of Cups is, about what your happily ever after is. And it could be so many things. Like maybe somebody thinks they want to settle down and have children, but the truth is that they don't want to have children and they want to travel the world. That's just one example. And of course, this is a general reading and it's going to be many different things. Maybe somebody is saying, oh yes, I'm going to settle down with this person that my family likes, who is from the same cultural background as me, or this person who is the opposite sex from me because that's what society accepts or that's what my family wants. But the truth is, maybe I want to move somewhere else and I want to be with this person from a different background, or I want to be with this person who is the same sex as me, or I don't know who I want to be with yet. I want to date around. Like, you just have to be honest with what you want for yourself. And I've been giving a lot of relationship examples, but I'm sure, as you guys can tell, this can have to do with like the career path that you're choosing, you know? Like, I want to go to university and I want to get a good government job, and this is what you've modeled your 10 of Cups to be. But the truth is that you want to be an artist and you don't want to go to school. You guys get the picture. But I feel like for some of you, this facade has become so strong that you may be a little bit out of touch with what your 10 of Cups truly is. And of course, that can be an obstacle because it's like, how can I commit to my 10 of Cups if I'm lying to myself? Or how can I commit to my 10 of Cups if I don't even know what that is because I've been hiding it for so long and I haven't been exploring my true desires? This is something that can't be rushed, honestly. I think that, you know, finding out what your 10 of Cups is requires you to be, you know, out there and living and interacting with people. It's kind of a hard thing to find in a vacuum, and it's something that can change or really like cement itself over time. So yeah, this is really not something to be rushed, but just something to think about. If you feel any kind of like nagging feeling when you're committing to something, you feel any kind of like, this is not right, it may be worth it to think again. Because I think for you guys, when you finally commit to your real 10 of Cups, it's going to feel so good. It's going to feel so natural. Things are going to move really, really quickly and smoothly for you with this 8 of Wands. So maybe you guys have had experiences in the past where you committed to a relationship, committed to a job, committed to a field of study. And even though on the outside you were saying like, this is what I want to do, I'm so excited about this, something in your gut just felt like, no, this isn't it. And I think your higher self wants you to pay attention to that. And I want to say like this year for you guys is all about figuring out what your 10 of Cups really is. Okay, so we're going to move on to the tarot now, the tarot that you guys chose, and we're going to see whether the connection is worth the wait. So like I mentioned in the intro, just in case you guys didn't see it, I'll explain it again. When we say waiting for a connection, that can take many different forms, right? You could be, continuing to make moves towards this person and actively pursuing them, or you could be in a place where you're not taking action, but you're asking the universe, but you keep watching readings about this person, but you keep hoping for them. So there's like a more active waiting, there's a more passive waiting, and then there's like, I'm moving on, I'm gonna keep going about my life, but I'm still just gonna leave the door open for this person. Like I'm not gonna put any energy towards the connection, but the door's open. So, it's like a decreasing levels of, or increasing levels of kind of passiveness, I guess. And I kind of wanted to explore all of these because I think if we just say like, you should wait for this connection, it's like, well, what does that mean? Like, does it mean I'm supposed to take action? Does it mean I'm supposed to let go? Does it mean I'm supposed to move on, but just like leave a place in my heart for them? And it's all of them. So I want to examine like each possibility for you guys and see what the short-term outcome would be as well as what the long-term outcome would be. Okay, so for group 1, if you continue to actively pursue this person, to actively make moves towards them, or if you start to do that, I should say, the short-term outcome, oh my God, the short-term outcome will be the 10 of Cups. Very interesting. And the long-term outcome will be the Tower. Okay, so first of all, this person is your 10 of Cups. Like, I don't know how else to interpret this when the same card comes up twice, the same card that we just went on and on about how it's your happily ever after, it's your dream partnership. So I think for many of you in this situation, it looks like this partnership is your 10 of Cups. It is what can make you the most happy, but there is a mindset shift that is really important here, and that is to release the life that you think you should have, or to release the life that other people expect you to have, because it's almost like this is your happily ever after, but if you let family expectations or societal expectations or other people's image of you get in the way and have too much importance, you could start doubting this relationship. And I guess the example I can give that's quite easy is like, you've met the love of your life, but like someone in your family doesn't like them, or it's different from what society normally sees, like this type of person dates that type of person, and you're worried about what people think. If you're really, really worried about that kind of stuff, because this is your ego, and your ego's really sneaky. If you start worrying about that type of stuff, your ego can start saying, oh, you don't really like this person that much anyway. It wouldn't work out with this person anyway. And I'm almost getting the devil kind of energy. It's like that devil whispering in your ear, like, oh, you know that this isn't going to work out. Just do what your family expects you to do. That's going to make you so much happier. Just do what society expects you to do. That's what you really want. We all have that devil in our ear, and The ego is just trying to protect us at the end of the day, because I guess it thinks that some people thinking a certain way about us is the end of the world. I mean, it can really feel like that sometimes, right? It's the fear of rejection that we're all so terrified of, that is like ingrained in our evolution, probably. So if we put too much importance on that kind of stuff, it could make us afraid of pursuing this 10 of Cups. It's really interesting that we have the 10 of Cups for the short term outcome, because we had the 8 of Wands, which is talking about things moving really, really fast. It almost feels like this connection is hot and ready. Maybe some of you guys are like already with this person, or you've already received an offer from this person, or that's coming really, really soon. Because there's just this like right here, right now, oh Lord, he coming kind of energy to this connection. Some of you guys could even be like reaching a pretty high level of commitment in the very near future, whether that is like engagement, family, marriage, contract, like long-term contract, business partnership, or something like that. I do want to point out that this person is pregnant, 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 pregonate, and you know, that could be a short-term outcome for you guys. So if there is somebody in this connection who can be pregnant, or if you are even in that type of connection where somebody could get someone else pregnant, if that's something that you want, that's amazing. If not, don't worry about it, then that message is not for you. Pregnancy can also be metaphorical, like you are giving birth to a business, you're giving birth to an idea, you know, you have some like a fertile idea or talent within you that is about to be shared with the world. So even if this is a business connection or something like that, I do think that this is a really, really good sign. It's like you guys are going to birth something amazing into the world together. And maybe it's already in the works, like it's already in the oven, so to speak. But yeah, this part of the reading is confirming that if you take some action, if you continue to pursue this connection, there is great happiness. There is your 10 of Cups in the short-term future. Now, in the long-term future, we have the Tower, which I can interpret in a couple different ways. Please feel free to claim one or the other, or both, or neither, if you don't like either of them. The first one that came to my mind is kind of that your life as you know it could be falling away over time. And it makes sense if you guys have been living with this facade, if you have been living with your fake happily ever after, with your fake 10 of Cups, the one that was just for show, that's going to start falling away. Now, just because it's your old persona or your fake persona falling away, that doesn't mean it's not uncomfortable. That doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. It's like if you're in a toxic relationship that is not good for you and you leave that person, just because you know it wasn't good for you, that doesn't make it any less painful sometimes. You know, like you're still going to grieve it. It's still going to be an uncomfortable transition. So I think that as your old life falls away, even though it was inauthentic, it's still on some level, like it's comfort falling away. It's familiarity falling away. It's the you that you used to identify as falling away. And when something stable and consistent in your life is falling apart, that's always kind of scary. So, you know, the Tower is kind of a spooky energy. It's like a scary transition and you don't know what lies ahead. And you're taking this leap of faith into your new life to commit to your real happiness. And that's freaking scary, especially when you're pursuing a life that you really care about. Because now it's like, if I fail at this, I'm actually going to be upset. There's a lot on the line. I do want you guys to remember that the universe is really happy for you for pursuing your real happiness and is going to act swiftly to bring you everything your heart desires, is going to be favoring you. So I really don't think this Tower is anything to worry about. It's just the discomfort and fear that always comes with taking a leap of faith and transitioning to pursue the life of your dreams. So that's one interpretation that I got from this card. Now, the other one was about the relationship itself, that over time, in the long term, this relationship might take on a completely different shape. And so I don't know how to describe it. It's like, if this is, let's say this is a business partnership, it's like, just be aware that maybe in the long term you won't be business partners anymore, or you'll just be friends. Or if this is a friendship, be aware that in the long term you might not be friends forever and you'll just be business partners. It's like, this will be a happy connection in the long term. It will be a mutually beneficial connection in the long term, but it might just change. It might change shape over time. And that could be something that's maybe like concerning to hear now, but I also think that as time goes by, what you want from each other and what you want this connection to be is also going to change. Okay, so let's take a look at your other options, because maybe some of you are not feeling to take action and to pursue this connection right now. So what will happen if you don't take action, but you wait? In the sense of, I'm going to keep hoping for this person. I'm going to keep sending my energy to this person. I'm going to keep asking about this person, see readings about this person, manifesting them. You get the idea. So for the short term outcome, we have the King of Swords. Interesting. And for the long term, we have the Knight of Cups. Aw. Okay, so let's start with the King of Swords with the short-term outcome. The first thing that came to my mind, which is really cool, is like, if you guys keep thinking about this person, sending energy to them, watching readings about them, there's something psychic going on where it's like, the more you keep thinking about them, the more they will keep thinking about you. As you keep sending your energy to them, your presence in their mind and in their life, I feel like it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I've heard this said before, like, if you can't stop thinking about somebody, it's because they're thinking about you. And I can totally see this happening in this connection. So the more you think about them, manifest them, wait for them, put your energy to them, it's like they would keep dreaming about you, or they would keep seeing things that remind them of you. Your energy is getting bigger and bigger to them. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if I've ever read the King of Swords like that, but I'm gonna put a pin in that is not the right thing, but I'm gonna remember that interpretation for future readings. The only thing I see that's like kind of a point of concern with this strategy is that there's still some emotional guarding going on here. So even though the two of you would be thinking about each other a lot, it feels like there wouldn't be action taken towards the connection on either side, at least immediately. Because like we showed before, your key to overcoming the obstacles is communication. Like, there is some heart to heart that needs to be had. You guys need to be open and honest about how you're feeling about each other and what you want from each other. And if you're staying quiet and not taking action, that is not really honest. Like, if what you want is to be together and be in a partnership, but you're not taking action and you're just thinking about each other, that is not really authentic to your soul's desires. And so it kind of even feels like a stalemate energy where like both people are just afraid of getting rejected or getting hurt, and so they're staying guarded. Like, the King of Swords for me is a very guarded person and somebody who is detached to their emotions. And I think that I feel like the King of Swords is a lot more emotional and sensitive on the inside, but doesn't show it. At least that is the vibe that I get from him. So we do have the Knight of Cups coming after this, which is an offer coming in, which is an expression of emotions. So it will still happen, just not as quickly. This is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And I do think that this Knight of Cups would be this person coming towards you and expressing their feelings. So it kind of looks like the options here are you taking action and things coming together quicker, or you waiting for this person. They will come, but it will just take longer. This is kind of the vibe that I am getting from these. I also want to say, in this version, when the person comes forward to express their feelings, when they come forward to make an offer, it still kind of feels like they are not telling the whole story, just because the king is so much bigger than a knight. So it's like they're thinking about you a lot, but what they express to you is still less. And there's something about you initiating things that makes them feel more comfortable to open up. With that being said, if they come forward with a more humble offer to you and you work off of that, do you know what I mean? Like if you work off of the offer that they give you and express your feelings, then it could be like this thing where I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like you're working off of each other's energy. More and more feelings are coming out as you get more comfortable. I'm picturing like, you know, Sims, like you have to make them talk more and more and more and more and more, and the relationship keeps going plus, 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 and they're like building off of each other, and then finally they would like hug each other and kiss each other. So it's like, if you keep working them up to make them more comfortable, it will come out eventually, but they're not going to come to you immediately with that energy. Okay, so finally, what happens if you completely move on? Don't give any of your energy to them in a 3D sense or in a psychic sense, but you just keep the door open. So for the short-term outcome, we have the Empress. And for the long-term outcome, we have the Ten of Wands. Okay, so I'm just going to... The Empress is a very positive card. It's like... But with the Ten of Wands... Sorry, I just needed a moment to sit with this energy. The short-term outcome of this, first of all, you guys are going to live a very abundant life no matter what. I see this as you guys being very successful. I see this as you guys having a lot of material wealth, having a lot of support and admiration in your life. I'm noticing the Empress's expression, and she just looks kind of dead inside, if I'm being honest. And I'm not saying you're gonna be dead inside if you don't end up with this person, but I almost feel this is like if you guys keep going in your life without addressing this facade, if you guys keep going in your life without assessing what your Ten of Cups truly is, you're still gonna be really, really successful and you're gonna be a very celebrated person, but it will just feel like something is missing. It's that nagging feeling in your gut, like, no, this is wrong. This is not the life I wanted. And I'll also say with this Ten of Wands here, if you guys do leave the door open, so to speak, for this person, so you're like, I'm not going to reach out, I'm not going to watch any readings about them, I'm just going to move on. But like, if they ever chose to come back, I would be open to that. If you leave it that way with the Ten of Wands, I think it's very unlikely that they would come back. Like if you stopped giving any kind of energy to them, stopped pursuing them, stopped thinking about them, it's kind of unlikely that things would ever turn out, or like that they would come back into your life, because they would probably do the same thing. Like, okay, I guess this isn't going anywhere. I'm just going to go off and live my own life. And maybe they would become an Empress like this as well. So I'm kind of getting the feeling like, obviously, if you do choose to move on from this person, that is entirely up to you. And I will never say like, oh, if you don't be with this person, you won't be happy. If you move on, you'll never be happy. Like, I'm not going to say that. But I think that if you did choose to move on, you would have to just close that door. Like, you can't allow yourself to keep that what if in your mind, because I think that's what's going to make you feel like this. It's like, I have success in my life, I have abundance in my life, but I just have this what if that I keep holding on to. So you would really, like, if you wanted to move on from this person, you would have to like cut off everything and be like, there's no what if, it's not happening. And that would be like the way for you to make a clean break. And then even in that way, I do think that you guys will find happiness in your life as long as you address your facade and as long as you are pursuing a happiness that is authentic to you. So this is what I see for all of your potential courses of action in both the short term and the long term. We are going to finish off this reading with some messages from your person. This is a deck that was created by and sent to me by a subscriber, and I believe that this is actually their first deck that they've ever made, so congratulations. If you want to support them, I will put a link in the description, and of course all of these decks are linked in the description. But let's see what your person wants to say to you. I just needed some time for myself. I avoided you because I was afraid to get hurt. So this is likely referring to this fear of communication that we saw at the beginning. One or both of you, I think it's both of you, could really benefit from healing your solar plexus chakra. And I didn't mean to disappoint you. So these are the messages from your person, what they want to say to you or what they would say to you. If you guys are not in contact, this is what they would want to tell you. You could also think of this as messages from their higher self. But these are all the messages that I have for you guys today, so I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick a cards where you get to choose a topic, that will be linked down below too. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi number twos, so if you guys chose the Goldstone and the Mystical Manga Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about whether the connection you're thinking of is worth the wait. So I want to start off this reading with the Transparent Tarot. If you guys haven't seen this deck before, it's really cool. Basically, the cards are see-through, so when you stack them on top of each other, you can make different pictures with them. So I thought we'd start with this to paint a picture of your connection's energy. Ooh, the deck is excited. So for group 2, can we please get a picture to represent the energy of group 2's connection, the connection that they are asking about? What does this connection look like? Okay, so the first card that is coming out is the Nine of Pentacles. The deck has a little bit of a reluctant energy right now. We also have the Queen of Wands. And oh my gosh, is that the King of Wands? Yes, it's the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. That is amazing. So I'm definitely gonna put them facing each other like this. And then I'm gonna put the Nine of Pentacles like on top. Yes, like that, because it's like the energy that exists in between them. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. So first of all, you guys were drawn to this beautiful red Goldstone, which very much has a fiery energy to me. And then you come out as the King of Fire and the Queen of Fire. I don't know if you guys who chose this group are fire signs or your person is a fire sign, but If you are, I would definitely take that as a confirmation that this is your group. If not, it's totally fine. Maybe you guys are actually the same element, like you're both water signs, both air signs, both earth signs, but again, it is totally fine if you're not. That's just there for an extra level of confirmation for those who may need it. But I can take the fact that you're both coming out as wands in a more metaphorical sense. That's just that you guys have a lot in common, that you are on the same wavelength. You might have quite similar personalities, or you might even look similar. Like both of these people have orange hair. They're wearing similar clothing. Like there's a lot of stuff that is mirrored between the two of you. And also the fact that you guys are coming out as a queen and a king is amazing, because it means that you guys are both really putting in the work to evolve to the highest version of yourself. And I would say that both of you guys are pretty far along on this journey. Like you guys have matured a lot. You've done a lot of growth over the past while, and your guides are really, really proud of both of you. I think both of you guys are doing an amazing job at using your fullest potential, and like you've really invested into yourselves. This is awesome energy. I think that both of you guys are incredibly creative and independent. And with this Nine of Pentacles here, maybe one or both of you is self-employed, or you both have the potential to be self-employed, especially through your own creations or through your own creative ideas. I definitely see these people as free spirits who generally don't thrive the best if they are working under somebody or taking a lot of orders or have to stick to a very rigid schedule. That tends to not really work for the Queen and King of Wands. They need their space to breathe and explore and go on adventures and be creative, like we just talked about. And these are people who are both amazing natural leaders. Maybe you are this person, or are in a leader position, or are kind of in a high successful position in what you do. If not, I definitely think that you are headed in that direction. Now, when it comes to your connection, the Nine of Pentacles was the first thing that made me think this, but also, looking at these two people, it kind of looks like they are pulling their wands back in towards themselves. And I feel like Spirit is saying with this energy that, at least for the time being, the energy is more so favoring you guys investing in yourselves, doing your own thing, focusing on your career. Even if this is a career-based connection, like a business partnership or something like that, it does kind of look like Spirit is encouraging you to focus on your own projects right now. Like I said, the Nine of Pentacles was the first thing that made me think this, and that is because the Nine of Pentacles is like an independent person, totally focused on themselves, totally doing their own thing, like very involved in their own ventures, in their own hobbies, in their own activities. And I don't really see any of these cards as having the energy of inviting in like committed partnerships. They really value their freedom and their individuality and are really like doing their own thing. So maybe you guys are already in this energy and really embracing it. Others of you guys, like if you chose this group and you're kind of like pushing for commitment to happen right now and you feel some blockages, it may be because right now the energy is such that you're really, really being called to work on your own things. The fact that the King and Queen of Wands are coming out as well, like if this is something that is a struggle for you guys, confidence might be a really, really big thing to be working on right now. With the King of Wands, this is like confidence in yourself, confidence that you deserve to live the life of your dreams. With the Queen of Wands specifically, I find her to be like, you don't compare yourself to anybody. You know that you're the shit no matter what, no matter what people say, no matter what somebody else might be doing. You have a really, really strong sense of self. And I think that this is something that both of you guys are in the process of working on right now. which in addition to your own projects, your own career, this might be something that Spirit is wanting you to focus on. And it could be that this confidence and this, you know, not comparing, not being jealous of other people, not feeling like other people are above you or out of your league or whatever it might be, this might be something that is really important to foster a healthy and stable connection with this person. So I totally, wait, is it because I put them like that? No, because they're actually, this is how they're supposed to go if they were, like, whatever. They're facing each other. You guys are facing each other. You guys are both wands. You guys are on the same wavelength for sure. This is definitely your match. I think it's really just, well, and this is why you're watching, because it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time before things come together with this person, but it just looks like Spirit wants you guys to have your own adventures right now. Find your own success. I think there's a lot of abundance coming your way with this Nine of Pentacles, but Nine of Pentacles is really about just enjoying the little things in life, enjoying time with yourself, enjoying time with your friends, enjoying your hobbies. That doesn't even sound like the little things, but like, you know, enjoying nature, enjoying your physical vessel, enjoying your spiritual practice. Those are not little things at all, but it's like enjoying the balance of life and the variety of life. And it doesn't look like this is really a time to put so much energy into this connection right now. That will probably come later on. I would be really surprised if we get into the rest of the cards and see that this isn't going to be worth the wait, just because the energy looks so amazing right now. But let's take a look at some oracle cards for you guys. We have Impatience. We have Abundance. I'm not surprised at all. Oops. And then we have Worship and Adapt. Okay, so like I said, we do have fire energy here, and it could also be that you guys are the same element. I also want to point out that the Nine of Pentacles is Virgo energy, or specifically Venus in Virgo, if I'm not mistaken. It would be really cool if you guys are like Leos with Venus in Virgo, or Virgo with Venus in Leo. Yeah, that's the other way around, or something like that. But this Chameleon and Adapt, it's also making me think of Libra and Gemini energy. So that might be significant for you guys as well. Now, okay, first of all, I want to talk about impatience and... Do I want to move these around? No, I'm going to keep them like this. First of all, with impatience, again, this is totally saying that it's a matter of time for this connection to come together. And this for me is even more confirmation that maybe the current energies are just not really pushing towards a union or pushing towards a commitment right now. Like I said, there's still other experiences to be had. There's still other adventures to be had. I'm not sure about the actual story of this card, because like every card in this deck has a legend associated with it, but this person who is climbing up the ladder to grab some kind of orb, it just made me think of like shooting for the moon or shooting for the stars. And I feel like, yes, you guys are well on your way to reaching your dreams and reaching your fullest potential, but I think you guys can soar so much higher than you realize. Like, you can achieve so much more than you might even imagine right now. Like, you're so much more powerful, you're so much more capable, and your guides really, really want you to take this time to see that and to enjoy that. And with Adapt as well, this is making me think of like adapting to divine timing, adapting to the divine plan. I think the biggest thing for you guys with this worship, it's almost like you guys need to realize that you're worthy enough on your own. Some of you guys, like consciously or unconsciously, might want to be with this person because it's like you will look better by association, or you think that you will look better by association. You know, Wands is all about inspiration, and so you guys could really look up to and admire this person, and subconsciously, like, one of the reasons you're so drawn to being with them is because you want to be like them. And if you are with somebody that you want to be like, it's almost like a validation, because this is everything I dream of being, and this person is looking my way, and this person likes me. It makes you feel like I must have some of those qualities within me. I must be, I'm good enough for my dream person. It's a validation kind of thing. And we all have that desire for validation within us. And it's not even a bad thing, but I think it might be, in some ways, it might be stopping you from seeing that you're already good enough on your own. Like, the Nine of Pentacles, it's all about independence, valuing yourself, focusing on yourself. And with this worship card, some of you guys might be putting this person on a pedestal a little bit, or maybe they're putting you on a pedestal a little bit, where it's like you feel like you would have more worth if you were with this person, or like, if I can attract somebody like this, if I can have somebody like this want to commit to me, then that's proof that I'm amazing, because this person is amazing. And it just kind of seems like Spirit wants you to recognize that value independent of anybody else. And I think that's why there's so much focus on, like, do your own projects now, follow your own dreams now, focus on your own ventures now, because you'll see the beauty of what you can create on your own. And you'll start to fall in love with your own life as you allow yourself to create your desires freely. You start to fall in love with your own life. You start to fall in love with your own self. I don't think that you're going to fall out of love with this person, at least not for that reason, but they might come down from the pedestal a little bit, because you realize that they were never so far above you. You were always on the same level. And again, this could be happening vice versa, like they put you on a pedestal and they're taking you off the pedestal. But I guess Spirit is kind of protecting you from entering into this connection if you're at a place where you still feel like you need this person, or you still feel like they're going to bring a value to your life that you can't bring yourself, or that they're out of your league. I think that creates a lot of attachment, which can put strain in a relationship. So I just think there's a need for both of you to build like a healthy independence and really build up your own life, so that this connection can really thrive in the way that it is meant to. With this abundance card, I'm totally taking this literally, that both of you guys are going to find a lot of abundance in your life. I saw that right away with the Nine of Pentacles, and just the fact that you guys are you're badasses, you're natural leaders, you're go-getters, you're so creative. And again, I think, like, even if you are at a place in your life where you're experiencing a lot of abundance, there's this feeling of you haven't seen nothing yet. And you see how this entity, this guide, it almost looks like, he looks like the facial expression is like, you know that meme of the kid who has the mug and he's sitting on the couch? And it's often used for, like, I don't know, like when you're opening your Christmas present, this is how your mom looks at you. What is it? When you open the Christmas present, your mom said she wasn't going to get you, and she's looking all smug and satisfied. This is like what his face looks like to me. And he's saying, like, just you wait. Just you wait. I'm sorry, I didn't focus, but like, what you can achieve and what abundance is coming to you, you haven't even seen the beginning of it. And we want you to be free right now. We want you to experience the world. We want you to go on your adventures. And I'm also thinking of like a what you want wants you kind of energy. You see how on this Nine of Pentacles, it almost looks like the coins are caressing her. Like, she's lying in this bed of coins and they're all huddling around her. And I actually do know the story of this card, and the coins want someone who wants them. So they want this little girl, because this little girl is the one who's going to go out and get them. And I feel like the dreams that you want really, really do want you. It's just that you need the confidence, because that's the difference between these two people. This man doesn't have confidence that those coins are for him. So when they fall down the grate, he's like, oh no, and just gives up and goes home. But the little girl doesn't give up. That's why she gets them. And the coins favor her. So when you're confident enough to know that these coins are yours, and when you're confident enough to do something and be creative and go out and get them, they're just going to come running to you and huddling around you. Many of you guys who chose this group, I wouldn't be surprised if you have a big breakthrough in your career this year, or like a big success in a creative project that kind of changes you in many ways for the better. And I think the more you invest in yourself, it's like the healthier of a mindset you can have around this connection, because you have like a healthier, more well-rounded and balanced life. You're taking care of yourself, and when you approach this connection, there's no longer any conscious or subconscious like need or attachment. It just comes purely from love and wanting to do your best for each other. So this is what I see for your sort of energy check reading of your connection. Now we're going to see if this connection is worth the wait. Again, I would be absolutely shocked if we see that it isn't, but let's get into the tarot that you guys chose. Just in case you didn't see the intro, basically I want to kind of explore different angles of this, because when we say you're waiting for someone, that can mean many different things, right? It can mean that like you're going to keep pursuing this person, moving towards the connection, reaching out to them, giving them your time and energy. Or it can be a more passive kind of waiting, where you're not necessarily making moves or reaching out to them, but you still think about them, you still manifest them, you still watch readings about them, you still hope and long and pray for them. And then there's an even more passive kind of waiting, where you just move on with your life and don't really think about them and don't really give them your energy at all. You don't ask about them, but deep down you still kind of leave a door open for them. So we're going to look at all of your different courses of action and see what the short-term outcome would be and what the long-term outcome would be, so that you guys can have a better idea if you feel this is worth it. Okay, so for group number 1, if you take action or continue to take action towards this person, so that means reaching out, inviting them, giving them offers, pursuing them, what will be the short-term outcome? So we have the Empress here. And we have the Sun. Okay, so interestingly, we have more. Okay, we have Leo, which I was talking about a lot before. And then we also have Libra, which I was talking about before. And now we have a little bit of Taurus energy. So it's interesting that we have, that's so funny, like group 1 got a similar message too. The Empress is about fertility and sensuality. The Empress is a motherly figure, and then we have the Sun, which has children on it. So this could be somebody that you have children with, if that is something that you want. Please feel free to claim this message. If not, don't worry about it. But even if you guys are like business partners or something like that, this idea of fertility and having children, it could also be like giving birth to a business idea, giving birth to a creative project or something like that. So you definitely don't have to take it literally. I also do want to point out the sunflowers. These might be an important sign for you when it comes to this connection. If you see sunflowers, it could be that this person is thinking of you, or it could be that your spirit guides are giving you a green light, or they're letting you know that your blessings are about to come. I have to say that you taking taking action, that's the word. I was gonna say taking movement. It's either making a move or taking action towards this person would reap very positive results. The Empress here is about love, beauty, manifestation, creativity. It's a very, very happy and radiant and positive energy. I can only say that things will go well when you make a move towards this person. And I also want to say the Empress, it's all about unconditional love and acceptance, but not just towards others, but towards yourself as well. And so I can totally see you guys like becoming very successful in your life, really embodying this Empress and this Queen of Wands energy, really feeling whole and complete within yourself, and then feeling like, okay, I'm ready to make a move towards this connection, and things just going so beautifully for you. And then with the Sun here, like I mentioned before, this can be about children, or it can be about just honestly joy. Joy, bliss, happiness. It can be about, both of these cards are extremely creative. So even if you weren't asking about like a work connection, and especially because you're both coming out as the King and Queen of Wands, I just feel like you could have a really beautiful creative collaboration together. Like, you can create such amazing things together. You both have such an abundance, both materially and in terms of your ideas and inspiration. Or you will when you come together. I see you guys coming together as like very wealthy, very sure of yourself, very full of ideas, already birthing your own amazing ideas into the world. And it's kind of like when you come together, it feels like the possibilities are endless. I also want to say the Empress is very like beautiful and attractive, and the Sun gives the feeling of being in the spotlight. So you guys could definitely be a couple that catches a lot of eyes, you know, that a lot of people admire, that a lot of people want to be like. You could think of this as power couple energy. You could think of this as couple goals energy, or just like it's an ideal partnership that a lot of people will aspire to. I also want to say, now this will depend on when you're watching this reading. So whatever time frame is like coming next for you, this could be indicating the window between Taurus and Leo season. So that would be late May to late August. But if you're like already in that while you're watching this, it could be the window between Leo season and Libra season. So late July to late October. Again, it will depend when you're watching this video and what really resonates with you. But, oh, and I should also point out that these are both major arcana. So like we talked a little bit about before, this does seem like a fated event. This does seem like divine timing is at play. And it does seem like there's still a little bit of ways to go before the energy will be ripe for this event to happen. But this is a huge green light that when you feel that call and when you take the inspired action and when you make the move towards this person, it is going to go amazingly. So just remember that. All right, so let's see what will happen if you take a more passive approach. So you don't take action, but you just wait and keep hoping and keep wishing. It's funny. We have the Four of Swords, which is literally about not taking action. And we have the Four of Cups. Okay, so we have two number fours here, so that might be a significant number for you guys. Okay, I'm kind of starting to see things coming together. Wait, I need to take off my fleece because I'm starting to get really warm. I feel like this connection is like a saga. There's been many different like eras to this connection, or many different stages. And I don't know necessarily which stage you guys are on, like whether you're at the beginning or you've known this person for a while. But what I see happening as these events play out, it's like when you first met this person, you felt really, really strongly for them. And maybe one or both of you really pushed for things to work out. Maybe it was one of you, like one of you was really pushing for things to move forward, was really pushing for the connection, and the other person just wasn't really responding. And honestly, that could have been a little bit like humiliating for the person who was really pushing to make things happen. Maybe they felt a little bit dumb for thinking it was going somewhere, or they felt dumb for like putting a lot of their energy into it. And I don't know if it was necessarily that they got rejected by this person, or if things just didn't really line up, or if the other person was just kind of vague or distant about it. But it feels like there was at least one side who was trying to make things work, and things just didn't really end up happening. And I do think that in that moment, it just wasn't time. Like we've spoken about earlier in the reading, there were still things that each person needed to experience. But what I'm kind of seeing now with this Four of Swords and this Four of Cups is maybe there's been a hardening of sorts, if that's the right word, when it comes to this connection where, like, let's say I'm the person who made a move towards somebody, it didn't work out, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to take any more action then. Like, I'm not going to do it. That's what I see with the Four of Swords, because this is about rest, inaction, almost like quite a passive energy. And then here we see Spirit trying to offer this person a cup, and they're like, no. And I love that there's actually like a spirit in this card, because I do always think of the hand as the hand of Spirit. And it's almost like, I don't know if this is you or the other person, or maybe it's a little bit of both of you, but it's like you've kind of hardened from what happened before. And now when Spirit starts to send you signs about this person and send you positive messages about this person, it's almost like no, I'm not falling for that again. I'm not getting my pride hurt again. You see how he looks? He's closing his eyes, his arms are folded, which is a very like shutting out energy, almost like defiant kind of stance, or rebellious. Like, I'm not listening to you. I'm not letting this message in. I can kind of see this happening in the connection. And I have an inkling that it may be happening a little bit on both ends. Like, this person on their end is thinking about you a lot, receiving a lot of signs about you. Spirit's trying to be like, hey. And it's like, nope, I'm not doing anything. And I think both of you could kind of be in this proud energy. And maybe that's why you're both coming through as like fire and or Leo energy. I think that being passive could kind of lead to a stalemate. And it's really important to go with the flow, like when it comes to this connection. Like, if it feels like things are not lining up and it's time for you to go off and do your own thing, then go with the flow. But I feel like a time has come, or it is coming, when you're gonna start feeling that pull. And I'm realizing why there's 2 number 4s here now, because that's all about the divine order. Like, this is very, very fated. When it's time for you guys to come back full circle and have a reunion, you're gonna start to feel that call. And I just wonder with these 2 cards if it's like one or both of you is ignoring the call because you're just remembering what happened last time, and you're like, no, I don't want to be the one to reach out. Like, they can reach out. I'm not playing the fool again. This is the kind of vibe I'm getting. It's like, and it's you have such a beautiful energy here, but pride and fear, ultimately, like fear of rejection or fear of things not going well again, could very well get in the way. And it's really important for you guys to be tapped into this divine guidance and feel your way through this. If you're in the flow with the divine plan, like, they're showing me like you would feel it. You would feel, okay, we're not ready yet. we need to go and live our own lives, we need to accomplish our own things, and then you would feel it again. Okay, we're nearing the end of a cycle, we're gonna have a reunion. But it's like, when you let your ego and your pride and your fear get in the way, it's really hard to go with that flow and to follow those cues of the divine. Because then it's like, when it's time for you guys to be off living your own life, you're pushing for something to happen. And then when it's time for something to happen, you're like, no, I don't want to experience that same heartbreak again, or I don't want to be the vulnerable one or the one to swallow my pride. No. So I think some people in this group are kind of like resisting the divine pulls. And it's probably a little bit of both of you. And it's interesting, like you guys, I feel like because there's different chapters of this story, like all of you guys watching could be on different chapters. Like you could currently be in the chapter where you're really pushing to make something work, or you could be in the chapter where the divine has taken you apart, or you could be in the chapter where you're getting these calls to have a reunion and you're ignoring them. Like you could be in different phases of this journey. All right, so what will happen? Oh, I just looked up and there was 33 on the camera. So yeah, repeating 4s and repeating 3s seem to be significant, which, by the way, is the numbers of the Empress and the Emperor, just so you know. There could also be Aries energy present here. So we're going to see what would happen if you just move on with your life. What will happen if you just move on with your life, but keep a door open? The short-term outcome is the Page of Wands. Even more fire. And the long-term outcome is Justice. So it's funny that we have another major arcana here. We have Libra energy again. I feel like this reunion is kind of going to happen no matter what. And it makes sense because this reading has been permeated with divine timing, like all over the place. Like this card, the fact that you're coming out as the King and Queen of Wands, the major arcana here, like the repeating 4s and spirit trying to offer you something. It's just been like a really prevalent image throughout this reading. And with Justice coming through at the end, Justice is a card that can speak about soul contracts, partnerships, karma. Like you guys have some unfinished business, and I feel like no matter what, things are going to come back around. Even if you keep being passive, even if you keep ignoring the calls, it's going to come back around. If you just move on with your life for now, and honestly, some of you guys may really be feeling called to do that right now and being encouraged by the divine to do that right now. And the Page of Wands is a very exciting card. It talks about new adventures, new creative projects. Possibilities are endless for your growth, for your expansion. It's a very curious and adventurous energy. If you guys, yeah, I mean, we've already spoken about this earlier in the reading, so this is just a confirmation. If you guys move on with your life, you're going to have amazing experiences. You're going to find amazing successes and amazing abundance. And no matter what, this is going to come back around. I feel like it would be pretty freaking hard to shake off this connection. And whether you guys get this outcome or not, it will just depend on your ability to listen to the divine and know when the timing is right. And when the timing is right, be able to swallow your pride and confidently make a move forward. it's almost like it's up to you, but the universe is going to keep poking you, for lack of a better word. The universe is going to keep poking you. And I think that this person's energy will kind of always be in your life no matter what. But yes, this one totally feels like an initial coming together, and then there's a separation period, and then there's like a period of growth and development, and then there's a reunion. So it's really about embracing that flow, like breaking apart when it's time to break apart, enjoying your life, and coming back around when it's time to come back around. And I think that this guy over here, whatever spirit guide this is, he's gonna be pretty annoying. Pretty annoying with the signs of like letting you know which chapter it is in your story. And you can listen to him or you cannot listen to him, but he's gonna keep he's gonna keep bringing you the signs. Wow. I mean, it's a very exciting journey. Could be frustrating at times, but I think at the end of the day, this is an extremely fun and enriching life for you guys. And there are so many blessings, both materially and emotionally, that are out there waiting for you. And like I said before, you guys have really not seen the half of it yet. So to finish off the reading, we are going to get some messages from the person that you are asking about. This oracle deck was created and sent to me by a subscriber, and I believe this is their first oracle deck, so I'm very happy for them. And if you guys like this deck, it will be linked down below, and of course all of these decks will be linked too. So first we have I was too scared to tell you the truth. When it comes to the separation period that you guys have experienced, like if you resonate with that, I feel like it might be that there was one person who was more willing to open up, and then it was like, I'm not stupid, I know how you feel. I know that you're not being authentic with me, or I know that you're not telling me the full truth. And there was someone who just like wouldn't open up, or they wouldn't tell things how it was. And I think that was frustrating for the other person, because again, it's like, do you think I'm dumb? Like, I can feel your energy, I can see how you're acting, but you're saying something else. This person was too scared to tell the truth, but maybe wasn't really realizing that their actions deceive them, or their energies deceive them. Like, you don't have to tell the truth, but you're certainly showing the truth in other ways. And it's frustrating when you don't have the courage to say it. It's frustrating for you, it's frustrating for the other person. It's like someone just wasn't ready to face the truth. We have, I didn't message you by mistake. So some of you guys have maybe gotten a message from this person recently, or you will be getting a message from them soon. And this is saying they might play it off like, oh, I was just drunk, or like someone took my phone, or they might do something like that, or, oh, I sent that kind of message to many people. But this person was planning to send this message to you, and they wanted it to be received by you. Could also be from their higher self, being like, the fact that I message you is not a coincidence. That was meant to be a sign. And I'm also extending this to like, if you saw this person's story or something like that, or if you saw a post by them and you thought that they were trying to get your attention, they definitely were. You know, they posted it for everybody to see, but it was intended for you, or it was directed at you. And finally, we have, I want us to last. She's having a hard time focusing today. That's okay. Everybody has those days. I also just saw 4141. So we got 1s, 3s, 4s repeating. Oh, and those are the I love you numbers, because like I is 1 letter, love is 4, U is 3 letters. So that's their higher self saying, I love you for sure. Oh, and at the bottom of the deck, it says, I desire you. So if this is a romantic or sexual connection, there could be a lot of, yeah, no shit. You're the King and Queen of Wands. Of course, there's a lot of like fire and physical passion between the two of you. Okay, so those are all the messages that I have for you guys. So I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the Citrine and the Wisdom Seekers Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about whether the connection you are thinking of is worth the wait. So I want to start off this reading with the Transparent Tarot. If you guys haven't seen this deck before, it's really cool. Basically, these cards are all see-through. So when you pile them on top of each other in different ways, you can make different sort of pictures with it. So I thought that we would start with this one and get a picture of your connection. So something that will represent the energy of your connection with this person you're asking about. Okay, so all right, there's a lot that this person wants to say to you, or they are thinking about you a lot, or they are feeling quite strongly for you right now. Interesting. So for group 3, oh yeah, literally we have the Ace of Swords as the first card that comes out. We have the 2 of Cups. Sorry, but like the way it came out, never, I'll see myself out. And let's get one more. Okay, so we have 2 more. We have the Hanged Man and we have the 6 of Swords. So I want to put this like over top of the connection. I do think that the Ace of Swords like coming out of one side is accurate for your situation. And then I'm gonna kind of put this as a separate thing because I feel like this is the current or imminent energy and this is like the future of your connection and whatever. It actually goes like this, but it doesn't matter. So first of all, actually the first thing I want to talk about is this 2 of Cups that we have here, and also that we have some repeating 1 and 2 going on. Of course, this is A for ace, but it's a 1. So we have 1, 2 here, and we have 1, 2 here. So repeating 1s, repeating 2s, repeating 12s, this could be significant for you guys. We also have Pisces energy here with the Hanged Man in case that is significant for you. Maybe you or the person you're asking about has Pisces energy in their chart, or Pisces season, because that is coming up at the time that this reading will be up, or it is already Pisces season, I don't know, but Pisces season might be significant for you guys. So wait, I wanted to start with the 2 of Cups. I'm getting way too excited, sorry. The first thing I want to say with the 2 of Cups is that this is a relationship in which feelings are reciprocated. So the way that you think about this person, the way that you feel for this person, they feel the same way about you. So if you want to get closer to them, they want to get closer to you. If you have romantic feelings for them, they have romantic feelings for you. If you're a little bit scared of them, they're a little bit scared of you. If you're a little bit frustrated with them, they're a little bit frustrated with you. The 2 of Cups is this mirrored, reciprocated emotion. I do think that this is also a great confirmation that you guys will be coming together in the way that you want to in the future. Of course, we're going to take a look a little bit at the tarot later and see more about that. But I just think that with the Two of Cups coming out here as the energy to describe your connection, we are off to a great start. I also thought it was very cool how the Ace of Swords just like shot out first thing. It was pretty quick too, because before we got to shuffling the deck, as you may have seen, like a million cards just like ran out of the deck. And this is a sign that tells me the person you're asking about, like I said, is thinking about you a lot, or is feeling very strongly about you, or there's a lot they want to say to you. And then the Ace of Swords is about breakthroughs, and especially breakthroughs in communication. Someone's coming forward and saying something. Someone's coming forward and communicating directly. And I do think, even if there's a lot of stuff that you want to say to this person, I do think that little outburst that we saw at the beginning of the reading was referring to their energy. Like they've really, really been wanting to talk to you. I feel like right now they may be sort of in the process of formulating what they want to say and how they want to say it. The Ace of Swords generally represents a new beginning or a breakthrough in the midst of kind of a challenging time. Obviously, this artwork is very different than traditional tarot, but in the Rider-Waite, for example, we would see the sword being held amidst clouds and mountains. Clouds represent confusion, mountains represent obstacles. So it's almost like this person is wanting to come forward and clear some confusion, or come forward to overcome some problems with you. And maybe this person has a lot of explaining to do, is kind of how it's coming to me, like explaining their behavior or explaining certain things that happened and why they did certain things the way they did, or explaining what they want for the future. It kind of feels like you guys may be a little bit confused about where this person is at because of their lack of communication. I also think it's very interesting how big the sword is compared to the size of the people, almost as if there's been things that this person wanted to say that are just growing and growing and growing. So by the time they come forward with this communication, it's something that's very big. It's something that's very voluminous, if you will. There's a lot of stuff for you to talk about. There's a lot of things for you guys to explain and work through together. And with this Hanged Man energy here, I think that this is something you guys have been really, really waiting for. The Hanged Man is kind of a still period where not a lot of things are progressing, or nothing at all is progressing. And for me, it's very much a card that discourages us from taking action, almost as if you did take action, it would make things worse. The way I'm seeing it is like a lot of you guys have just been hanging there and waiting for this person to come forward without really nudging them. And I think that this has been the right thing to do. I think that it was very important that they come forward on their own. Like, it was very important for them to do that, to have the confidence to do that. And I think it was also important for you, because I think you guys, you need to give up that role of always being the initiator, and you need to let yourself see for yourself that if someone wants to come forward and say something, they will. Maybe some of you guys were even kind of at a tipping point where you were like, I'm done being the one to make the first move. I'm done trying to coax answers and information and clarity out of this person. Like, if they want to tell me something, they can come forward and tell me something. And so you were like this hanged man who was just waiting, focus on your own transformation. I almost said transformaking because I was thinking of the word awakening at the same time. On your own transformation, on your own spiritual awakening. That's also meanings that are within the Hanged Man. So maybe it's like this. I feel like this is you guys, and you've been this hanged man. Like, I'm not going to take action. I'm not going to move the situation. I'm not going to force the situation. I'm going to focus on my own awakening, on my own transformation. And now, oh my gosh, yeah, when you put it like this, it's like your person is coming with their big sword of communication, and they're going to cut down the cocoon. Like, it's time to free you from this cocoon. Like, shh. Yeah. Okay. See, this deck is so cool. And then I love that we got the Six of Swords with this as well, because the Six of Swords is about improved communication. It's about peace of mind, a peaceful relationship, moving away from a turbulent situation into calm waters. So I feel like there may have been some tension or frustration in this connection in the past, or maybe there still is, but it looks like there is a huge, like literally huge, bigger than you, breakthrough of communication coming through here that is going to move you on to more peaceful waters. So I also want to take a look at some oracle cards. We have Recovery. That's making me think of like reconciliation. I'm also thinking of forgiveness. We have Trickery, Support, and Honor. Okay. For some groups, I felt like I kind of needed to move the cards around, but I feel like these have come out the way that they were supposed to. First of all, I think that there's a lot of divine support when it comes to this connection. I'm seeing these beings as spirit guides who are helping you out. And I think that you guys have a deep knowing about what's going on here. This is a card that is associated with the third eye. So I just want to tell you guys, if you've been having any inklings about this person's feelings or about future events with regards to this connection, you are more than likely right about that, whether you received it through a reading you did or you received it through your own intuition. Basically, this third eye card is here to confirm to you that your intuition is on point and that you do have a lot of divine support. And I love that this is recovery. Like, the guide is presenting this person with a key, but they're not receiving the key, they're recovering the key. It's like the answers were always with you. You always had these answers. We're just presenting them to you again. We're just showing them to you again. And I feel like any information that a reader could tell you about this connection, any information that a guide could give you, it's all things that you already know, and it's all things that you already had within you. They're just reiterating it. They're just confirming it. Like, you already have the answers. Maybe sometimes you forget the answers or you lose the answers, but then you recover them. Your guides are always here to give you that friendly reminder that you already know. Your friendly reminder that you already have the key. And they will support you through this no matter what. They will confirm to you however many times you need. They will help you find the answers however many times you need. And they're saying that you are so precious to them. There is nothing that they wouldn't do for you. And they're giving you so much love. I feel so much like beloved energy. I think it's because the constellation is called Carina. Like my dear, or you know, my sweet beloved. It's giving me that kind of feeling. Now, with Trickery and Honor, this card is associated with the heart, having the green border. It's associated with the heart chakra. And while each card has like a unique story in the guidebook, like a legend that goes with it. And it is kind of hard to remember all of them exactly. But what I do know from this Trickery card is that both of these animals are deceiving each other. The dragon is deceiving the squirrel is deceiving the dragon. And at the end of the day, nobody wins. I think it's like they're trying to make a trade, but they're both lying about what it is that they really have. So when they make this exchange, both people end up kind of screwed over. And I think when you don't honor your heart and honor your true emotions, any exchange that is made with someone else, it's not going to be beneficial. And maybe this is like you guys, you've tried to have these conversations in the past. You've tried to have these heart-to-hearts and move things in a good direction, but it kind of feels like maybe neither one of you was ready to be truly honest. And I think the reason for that was likely a fear of vulnerability. I don't get the sense that this is, and honestly, 9 times out of 10, in a reading, when any card about deception or tricking or something like that comes up, I don't get the feeling of it being malicious. Like, haha, I'm lying to you. It's like, I can't tell you the truth because I'm freaking scared of what that's gonna bring. I'm scared of giving you my heart and you stomp all over it. I'm scared of being vulnerable because vulnerable means you have the upper hand. It's like being afraid of all those things your ego tells you. And it's like you guys could have all the conversations you want, but if you're not ready to honor your heart and speak your truth, then it's not going to go anywhere. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And I do feel like saying that goes for both of you. Maybe you know what your feelings truly are, but you're not communicating them. Maybe you don't really know what they truly are. Maybe this person didn't know what they truly are. And I think maybe that's why the Hanged Man is here, because there was that energy of, you know, don't force things right now, or taking action right now could make things worse. It's like if you try to take action and have this conversation before there's been a real reflection and recovery of what you truly feel and a willingness and readiness to honor that, then it could make things worse. I feel quite emotional when I read the energy for this connection, but there's totally like an honest heart to heart is like very much needed for this connection. But again, it should not be rushed. It should not be forced. You're over here transforming and awakening spiritually. They're over here thinking really hard about what they want to say to you, kind of making sense of things, right? Because this is the sort of truth that is cutting through the confusion. Maybe figuring out how they're going to overcome the obstacles. And honestly, maybe you guys don't need to know how to overcome every single obstacle. You just need to know that you want to overcome it together. That might kind of be the blockage for this person, or maybe for both of you. Like, we want to be together, but there's this barrier, and we're going to come up against this issue in our future. And it's like, there's this feeling of, I want to figure out what we're going to do about all these obstacles first, like before we commit to each other. And maybe what you really need is just the commitment. Like, if I'm being honest, I don't know what the heck we're going to do when we come up on this obstacle, but I know that I want to overcome it with you. And I know that we'll figure it out. Maybe for some of you that is enough. I just really felt called to say that. But I think we will move into the tarot now. So in this part of the reading, we're going to take the deep dive into whether this connection is worth the wait. And just in case you didn't see the intro, I do want to kind of break this up, because when we say that you're waiting for someone, that can mean, you know, many different things. It could mean that you are, you know, taking action towards this person, pursuing them, reaching out to them. Or it could mean that you're being more passive, like, I'm not going to make any moves towards you, but I'm still praying for you. I'm still wishing for you in my life. I'm still manifesting you. I'm still watching readings about you or wondering about you. Like, there's that kind of, I'm actively wanting you, but being passive about it in the 3D. And then finally, there's like I'm just moving on with my life. I'm not going to think about you. I'm not going to send energy your way, but I'm leaving the door open. There's like that kind of waiting, which is, I guess, the most passive one. So, you know, different definitions of waiting with varying levels of actions being taken. I do get this kind of doubt a lot in comments, and even recently on Patreon, many people wanted this kind of reading. Like, what am I supposed to do while I wait though? Like, am I supposed to be taking action? Am I supposed to be literally just waiting and not doing anything? So that's why I wanted to break it down like this. And then for each of those, we're going to see what the short-term outcome will be and what the long-term outcome will be. And I'm going to drink water before we get into the next part. Okay, so for group 3, What will happen if you take action, if you keep pursuing them, or if you start pursuing them, reaching out to them, asking to see them? Okay, so we have the Lovers. And we have the Ten of Wands. Okay, so the card representing the short-term outcome is the Lovers. So I do think that there's a lot of love that exists between the two of you. We saw this with the Two of Cups, or there's a lot of attraction. And I do think that reaching out to this person, it can feel good for some time. It can make you happy for some time. But when we have the Ten of Wands as the long-term outcome, this is a card that when it comes to relationships, it very much talks about somebody who is carrying a burden all by themselves. It very often shows me like a one-sided connection. Not necessarily that feelings are one-sided, but like we spoke about earlier in the reading, that the effort that is being put into the connection is one-sided. Like one person is always initiating, one person is always, putting in all the effort. And I can kind of see this playing out as like you take an action and reach out, you get a positive response, things are good for a while, but then these same kind of issues pop up where it still feels like you're the one who's doing all of the work to carry the weight of the partnership or to fix things in the partnership. And maybe this is a cycle that has kind of been repeating because, like I mentioned earlier in the reading, I kind of felt like many of you felt a little bit done with this connection, or at least done with continuing to put yourself out there only to receive the same result. And I'm kind of seeing this as a confirmation that like putting yourself out there, stepping forward, taking action would lead to similar results that you have seen in the past. The Lovers, for me, it talks very much about psychic and telepathic connections in relationships. And I think that you guys get a lot of psychic insights about how this person truly feels and about the future of the connection. But I think that there's a little bit of a disconnect when it comes to what's going on in the 3D. It feels like this person is not really ready to have the serious conversation, is not really ready to honor their heart and to bear all. And I know that, so in the context of this card, I know that technically this blind angel is like love is blind and is going to shoot this person and make them, choose a partner. But the way I was seeing it for your reading is almost like this is representing your higher self, or this is representing your psychic ability. And to shoot your shot, so to speak, right now, it would kind of be like a blind thing to do. Like it wouldn't be taking into consideration where your person is at in the 3D. And when it comes to the moves that we make in a connection, like we've got to meet people where they are in the 3D, because at the end of the day, the 3D person is who we're having the relationship with in the 3D, You might have a very close and intimate relationship with this person in the 5D, in your soul connection, but again, I feel like this person still needs time to bridge that gap. And if you try to bridge it for them with this Ten of Wands, it could lead to you carrying all of the weight or carrying all of that burden in the relationship. So with that being said, let's see what will happen if you take a more passive approach. So that means you are not going to take action towards them, but you're going to keep hoping for them, wishing for them, waiting for them, watching readings about them, manifesting them, everything like that. We have the Queen of Cups. And we have the Five of Wands. Okay, so the Queen of Cups is representing your short-term outcome. I do think that maybe this is representing kind of, I feel like a lot of you guys are in this energy right now. Like you're in the energy of, I'm not going to make a move towards this connection, but this is still the person that I have in my heart. This is still the person I really care about. This is still the person I'm hoping for, still the person I ask about when I watch readings like this. And again, I think in the short term, this can bring you peace when it comes to this connection. Continuing to get those psychic insights, continuing to live in the spiritual aspect of this connection can bring you a lot of peace. The Queen of Cups is very intuitive, very spiritual, focus on the spiritual realms, focus on her emotions. Then when we move over to the long-term outcome, we have the Five of Wands. So I can kind of see this cyclical nature that's going on here, where it's like, and I feel quite frustrated for you guys, if I'm being honest. Like, I feel like this is a group that could be quite frustrated with the circumstances of this connection, because it's like, if I try to come forward, it will go well for a while, but then eventually we'll fall back to the same, like, one-sided nature. If I just hold back and wait, and I keep having faith, and I keep manifesting, and I keep watching readings, that's going to give me hope. That's going to make me feel really good. But eventually my mind's going to kick in and say, this is not enough for me. This is about inner conflict. Like, this is not enough for me. I want something to happen. And then you just get back to the same, like, what am I supposed to do about this? Because it's like, I can't stay in this energy forever. The Queen of Cups is also really like compassionate and tolerant. And there's this part of you that's like, I can't stay in this energy forever where I'm just living in the 5D, enjoying the spiritual connection, and I don't see anything happening here on earth. So it's like the two possible courses of action we've seen so far, it all seems to come back to the same place. Like, it feels good for a while, but then ultimately I'm frustrated, I'm dissatisfied with the way that things are. So finally, we are going to see what will happen if you guys just let go. So stop thinking about this person, stop sending them energy, stop trying to manifest them, and you just leave the door open for them. We have the World as the short-term outcome, and that's very interesting. Long-term outcome is the Queen of Wands. Okay, so we have the World here. This talks about the end of a cycle. This talks about things coming full circle. And I think it's very, very interesting the way that it's drawn in this card. How this person is just here like celebrating her life, living her best life. And then this person, it almost looks like he popped up from behind and is peeking over. Like, hey, which in most decks, it doesn't look like that, but that's very interesting. This deck is very, very interesting. I feel expansion in this card. I feel liberation in this card. The World is like a very fulfilling and successful life. And I think that if you guys just move on to do your own thing and you're like, I'm not making a move towards this person. I'm going to completely let go of attachments. I'm going to completely let go of expectations, and I'm just going to live my best life. You will have your best life. Your best life is what you're going to get. The World, like I said, it's fulfillment. It's this sense of being very accomplished, enjoying worldly pleasures. Some of you guys might find a lot of success in your career. Some of you guys might even travel or move somewhere for some time. But it's like, I'm not going to let this hold me back anymore. I'm going to go out there and live the life that I want to live. And I think that that's going to be really liberating for you guys. And what's really interesting too is that the World can talk about being like admired by people. Like, people are watching you, people are admiring you. And I think that if you move on and live your best life, this person is definitely going to be checking on you. Maybe some of you are in this stage as well. Like, some of you are here and some of you are here, but if you're kind of like, I'm over this, I'm not going to keep like spending all of my energy on this connection and you're just out there living your own life, I definitely think that they are watching you, that they are checking on you. Like we even saw at the very beginning of the reading that they are thinking about you a lot. And I think that eventually this person would come to reach out for you. Reach out to you, sorry. We saw that at the very, very beginning of this reading. So I would say that the best course of action when it comes to this connection is just like letting go, doing your own thing. Because I think if you try to hold on to this connection right now, or if you try to move towards this connection right now, it's only going to lead to frustration, because there is some cycle that needs to complete. And it's like you're not in the cycle for the happy and healthy union that you want right now. And I know that this whole reading is about like whether this connection is worth the wait. And it's really hard to say, honestly, because what I see in the long-term outcome is the Queen of Wands. And I feel like when you guys move on from this connection and you find, it's like you have a newfound confidence. You're stepping into your power again. And you're living a life that makes you feel good again. And you're not bound by any attachments. You're not bound by any dependencies. You feel very independent and free when I look at this World card. And I think you're going to go through a huge glow up as well, both like physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. And you're truly feeling like the queen that you are. Gender neutral queen, because you can be any gender that you are. The Queen of Wands is super, super confident, and she only wants the best. So it might kind of be a mixed group. Like after all of this time, this person is coming back into your life, wants to talk things through. If I'm being honest, like while some of you might really, really welcome this conversation, some of you guys might be over it. And I will say right now, I do think it's going to be like quite some time before this person would be ready to reach out and explain everything they need to explain and commit to you in the way that you might be wanting right now. The world, it's interesting that we have like all those 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we have 2, 1 here. The world, when it comes to time frames, I would associate this with a year. And then all of these number 12s, maybe it's like 6 to 12 months, because we have 6 here and we have 2 12s here. So like 6 to 12, but more like 12 is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And I just feel like by that time, you will have changed so much from the version of you who is watching this video right now. So like maybe some of you are thinking, oh yeah, like I can totally wait that long. I will wait for this person. But I'm just getting the feeling that some of you might change your mind the more and more you embody the world and the more and more you embody the Queen of Wands. By the time those months pass, when this person comes back to you, you might feel differently, and that's okay. But I don't really see you guys waiting for this person, or I don't see you guys encouraged to wait for this person. Now, I know that this was a divinely orchestrated connection. I know that they were here to teach you something. I know that you know this person was significant in your life. And I can't tell you what your intuition tells you. It's not my place. But for some of you guys, your intuition, if your intuition is telling you like this is the person I'm meant to be with, then you should confirm that. But for some of you guys, maybe your intuition is telling you like this person is here to teach me how to respect myself, or to teach me how to love myself, or to teach me how to free myself. I can say for sure that this person is in your life for a reason, but I can't tell you what your intuition is telling you about this person. And even this heart-to-heart that we're seeing, this being open and being honest, I can't tell you like how you're going to respond to that when this person is finally ready to come forward. If you're gonna have this conversation and move on to a partnership, or if you're gonna say, thank you for telling me, it's nice to have that closure and move on. You really, like, we all have free will, but I think that this end outcome is all about you making an empowered choice for yourself and you having free will. And I don't think that you're meant to end up with this person in the sense that you have to, or that it's inevitable or anything like that. So I guess if you really feel deep down intuitively that you are meant to be with this person and you don't mind waiting all of this time with like little to no 3D reciprocation, then I guess I could say it is worth the wait for you. But if you're feeling this frustration, I don't know how I could tell someone like, it's okay, keep in your frustrated energy because they're gonna come around eventually. That just doesn't seem like good advice to give a person, if I'm being honest. So make of that what you will, but yeah, it's really up to you guys at the end of the day. So we are gonna finish off this reading with messages from your person. So I'm going to use this oracle deck that was created and sent to me by a subscriber, and I believe this is the first oracle deck that they've produced, so I'm very happy for them. And if you guys like this one, it will be linked in the description, as well as, of course, all of the other decks we use today. So what would this person like to tell you? I'm sorry for what happened. It's not what you think it is. And remember, this is like their subjective opinion. So like, I feel like you guys pretty well know what's going on in this person's head, and it probably is what you think it is, but maybe this is how they're seeing it. And I love myself more, and so should you. Okay, so these are all the messages I'm seeing for you guys, so I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 4s. So if you guys chose the Milky Quartz and the Gentle Heart Tarot, this is going to be a reading all about whether the connection you are thinking of is worth the wait. So I want to start off this reading with the Transparent Tarot. If you guys haven't seen this deck before, it's really cool. Basically, all the cards are see-through, so when you stack them on top of each other, you can make different pictures with them. And I thought we could start off with this deck to sort of paint a picture of the energy of your connection. Okay, so for group number 4, can we please see a picture to represent the energy of group 4's connection with the person they are asking about? Okay, the first card that we have is the 3 of Pentacles. Then we have the King of Cups. And, okay. A bunch of cards fell on the floor. What do we have here? We have the Lovers, we have the Page of Cups, and we have the Page of Wands. Aw, okay, so I'm kind of seeing this as like one image. The Page of Cups and the Page of Wands moving towards each other with this, oh, this goes this way. wait, no, it doesn't. With this heart in the middle, I think it's really cool that we have the Lover's energy, which represents yin and yang, and then we have the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups, which represents fire and water. So I'm definitely getting an opposites attract kind of vibe from this connection, and that your differences really do complement each other. The Lovers is Gemini energy, so that could be significant, but we also have water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, with the Page of Cups and the King of Cups, and then we have fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, with the Page of Wands. So if you or your person have this energy, then this can definitely be a confirmation that this is your group. However, if you don't, that is totally fine. And actually, the suits of Wands and Cups, it could be talking about the seasons of spring and summer being an important time for your connection. And in fact, if you are in the northern hemisphere of the world, then Gemini season would be around spring or summertime-ish. So please feel free to claim that as a message about your zodiac signs or about a time of year, or even both. I think that with the pages here, this could be indicating that this connection is fairly new. The page energy is sort of undeveloped. It hasn't really reached its full potential yet, but with the Lovers being the card in the middle that is uniting you guys, I do think that there is an element of fate to this connection, and some of you guys maybe have experienced visions of this person before they came in your life, prophetic dreams, or picked up on their thoughts and feelings, because Lovers energy for me, when it comes to a relationship, it does have that element of like psychic, telepathic connection. And I also want to tell you guys, I've been feeling pretty spacey all day. And as soon as I tap into the energy of this pile, I feel very clear. I feel very lucid. I feel very, very crisp, if you will. I hope I didn't just jinx myself and then I start like stumbling on all of my words and spacing out. But I guess I just think that the energy of this group is hitting me differently. It's really waking me up. So this person coming into your life might feel like you were hit by a train in the best way. Like suddenly you were slapped awake. You feel like electricity. That's a good way of wording it as well. You feel like electricity coursing through your body. I think that this is someone who inspires you a lot and you inspire them a lot as well. But like I said, I feel like there's still a lot to explore when it comes to this connection. And I think the final form that you guys will take together is still quite a ways away. And I don't say that to discourage you guys, but more like you have such an exciting journey ahead of you together. And I think you're going to grow a lot from now on. I think you're going to learn a lot from each other and kind of explore together the potential of what this can really be. I know that the card in the middle is the Lovers, but it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. This could be a friendship. This could be a work partnership. This could be a creative collaboration. For most of you, I do think the connection is emotional in nature just because of these cards that we got. First off, the Three of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So I'll just get into these a little bit as well. The feeling that I was getting when I looked at this, I can interpret it one of two ways, so please feel free to claim one or the other or both. But it's like somebody who is feeling a little bit insecure about what they can offer in a relationship. And it's either like, I can offer you my love and affection, I can offer you my emotional support, but I feel like I can't offer you anything tangible. Like I can't, maybe it's like I can't provide for you financially, I can't make your material life easier, I can't give you nice things, I can't take you to nice places, I can just offer you my love and companionship. So there may be someone who kind of feels bad in that regard. Or it could be the other way around, where someone is like, I'm very wealthy, I can give you a lot of nice things, I can take you to a lot of nice places, but I worry that I don't know how to be there for you emotionally. I worry that maybe I won't be able to understand you, or I won't know how to give you advice, or I won't know how to comfort you when you need it. So, and maybe it's like one of you feels one way and the other feels the other way or something like that. But I just noticed they're both offering something, but there's such a vast difference in size. And I can kind of see it going both ways. If this is somebody offering their measly money, but they can't hold up a candle to this compassionate, comforting King of Cups, then they could feel insecure. And similarly, it's like we always feel insecure about what we don't have, right? We always feel insecure about the thing that we don't have. But that was kind of the vibe that I'm getting from these two images. But you guys are both coming out as pages, which tells me that you are equals. Again, you are different. You're yin and yang, you're fire and water, but you're totally equals. And so maybe it is this thing where, you know, the Page of Wands person is saying, I can bring you fire, but I feel bad because I can't bring you water. And the water person is saying, I can bring you water, but I feel bad because I can't bring you fire. And it's like, it's okay. You give what you can give, do what you can with what you have, and we will make this work together. I think a lot of the time when it comes to partnerships, the most important thing is that you're trying and that you're showing the other person that you are, you know, that you're trying your best and that you're showing up for them. That is really the most important thing, I think, especially in this case. So yeah, you guys came into each other's lives for a reason. I do feel this is a fated connection. I feel this is a connection where you'll experience telepathy and psychic experiences. I think you're quite different, at least on the outside. And in many ways that can kind of trigger your insecurities, because it's like this person feels they should be more like them, and this person feels they should be more like them. And I think a big lesson of this connection would be learning to embrace yourself for who you are. It's like not judging a fish based on their ability to fly, and not judging a bird. Well, some birds can swim actually, but you know what I mean. Not judging a bird for their ability to swim, just to complete that analogy, and saying, I'm beautiful as I am, you're beautiful as you are. And when we come together, we make this beautiful yin and yang. Yeah, oh, that's so nice. So let's take a look at some oracle cards for you guys as well. We have Perseverance, Prayer, Pleiades. There's a lot of P's going on. Pleiades with Optimism, and Overcome. I don't know if that's like Gruss or Gruss or what, but 3 out of 4 oracle cards are P words. Wet ass P word. PPP. So that could be somebody's initial. That can be the name of a country, a city, an organization. Again, doesn't have to be, but that could be an extra layer of confirmation for those of you who need it. I'm noticing that confidence is going to be a really big theme in this connection, because out of these chakras that we have here, and actually the constellation cards mirror the colors, we have orange and yellow, which represents the sacral chakra and the solar plexus chakra. With Pleiades here, some of you guys might resonate with the Pleiades, having Pleiadian origins, maybe having had a past life with this person in the Pleiades, or in general, you just might resonate with being a star seed, with having star origins. But I really like the message of perseverance and optimism, because this is like your green light to keep believing in yourself and to keep believing in this connection, and to stay optimistic about it, because if you stay optimistic and you keep going, you're going to get your happy outcome. I think with prayers here, if you guys have been praying, like speaking to your guides or just asking spirit for guidance when it comes to this connection, I do think your prayers will be answered, but maybe not in the way that you expected. This is like a classic energy of being open to what shape things take in the 3D. So you will get your manifestations, you will get the answer to your prayers, but maybe you have to look somewhere a little bit different than you expected, or it's going to come to you in a different way than you expected. The reason I'm thinking that is because of the lemons and the lemonade. And I'm thinking of like, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. You know, life is giving you something kind of unexpected, maybe not exactly what you wanted, but you find a way to make something out of it. So your guides might be answering your prayers or giving you answers about this connection in kind of indirect ways. And maybe sometimes you guys have felt that your guides are being a little bit vague. I don't think that they're purposely trying to be vague or withhold information. It just might be that you're not looking in the right place for the answer, or you need to be a little bit more open, to how the answer comes or the timing that the answer comes. And there was something else that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, sometimes if your guides don't give you a straight answer, it might be because it's up to you. When I look at these 2 pages, I think of these people who have their whole lives ahead of them, and that can go for whatever age you guys might be. And there's so many possibilities available to you. And this connection is something that the 2 of you will make together, that you will build up together. Maybe this is like you're still kind of on the early end of reincarnating together, if that makes sense. Like you've had a few run-ins before, but I'm not really getting the sense that you guys have had like hundreds and hundreds of past lives. And it still feels like you guys are still figuring out what you want this connection to be. So if your guides aren't answering that in a super straightforward way for you, it might be because that is something that you and this person are going to decide together and build together from now on. And they want you to have fun with that creative process. Both the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups are incredibly creative beings, incredibly creative people. And I can see, I think with these 2 people, there's one of you who is more blessed in the sense of spirituality, emotional intelligence, empathy, sensitivity. And then there's one of you who is more blessed in practical, grounded, responsible, materially successful, like water. Yeah, this is water energy and earth energy. So maybe there's earth signs here as well. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. We have a lot of signs popping up. But again, your differences are what make you stronger together. And while I think a big lesson in this connection could be learning from each other and being inspired from each other, it's not about becoming the other person. And it's not about saying that one energy is better than the other. It's about them coexisting and you each having a little piece of each other within yourselves. And whatever obstacles it is that you're facing in your life, you will overcome them. This is your promise. And I want to extend this to any area of your life. So just going outside of the connection for a second, if at the time that you guys are watching this reading, you are struggling with something, there is a very big blockage or obstacle in your life, or there's been a very big disappointment, I want you guys to know that everything is going to be okay and that your current worries will fade away. That everything is going to be fixed, so to speak. You will overcome these difficulties. So yeah, have we spoken enough about the sacral energy and the solar plexus energy? I think that you guys are each other's biggest supporters, or you will be if this connection is still young. Like we said before, I think you guys will inspire each other a lot. The sacral chakra, it can be sexual energy. So if this is that kind of connection and you are a sexual person, then you could have an amazing sexual relationship with this person. But this is also just about creative energy. So if that doesn't resonate with you, you guys could just make each other really, really creative. Like when you're around this person, when you talk to this person, suddenly you have a million ideas of things that you want to create or ideas that you have for your future. It's just, I'm almost getting even like star energy, the star, this kind of connection that makes you really, really excited for your future. This kind of connection that makes you realize how special you are and embracing your uniqueness. And yeah, like we even have literal star energy here with Pleiades, so that makes sense. But yes, I think this is what I see so far. So let's move into the tarot deck that you guys chose. And here we're going to take the deep dive into whether this connection is worth the wait. So just in case you guys didn't see the intro, I kind of explained that I'm going to look at this question from some different angles, because when we say you're waiting for a connection, what does that really mean? That can be kind of confusing. And I do sometimes get questions about this, and even on Patreon recently, it was really, really popular vote to have a video on this. Like, what am I technically supposed to do while I'm waiting? Does waiting mean I'm still taking action? Does it mean that I just sit back and trust the universe and don't do anything? So we're going to see kind of different levels of action taking that you could or couldn't do. We'll see what would happen if you guys took action towards this connection, meaning you're reaching out to them, you're expressing your feelings, you're asking them out, you're making them an offer, whatever it might be. We're also going to see what would happen if you don't make an action towards them. So you're staying more in a passive place, but you're still actively wishing for them. You're still actively manifesting them. You're still watching readings about them and giving them your energy. And then we will also see what would happen if you just let go, send them on their way, stop giving them energy, stop asking about them, live your own life, but just kind of leave a door open. Yes, and we're also going to see like both the short-term and long-term outcomes for these. Okay, so for group number 4, what will happen if you make moves towards this person? What will happen if you take action? For the short-term outcome, we have the Knight of Swords. For the long-term outcome, we have the Ace of Swords. So you guys maybe have been thinking really heavily about taking action towards this person, or like wondering if you should, or wondering what you would say. And there might be a really big part of you who wants to. And I think that this is very much reciprocated. With this Knight of Swords, I feel like both of you guys really, really want to talk to each other. Like, you really want to talk to each other more. Even if you're already talking quite a bit, there's that feeling of like, I want to get closer to you. I want to get to know you more. And there's something I want to say to you. The Knight of Swords can have a kind of blurting out energy, or a kind of dumping energy. I see it very often like that in connection readings. So I think that if you were to make a move towards this person, it's like some kind of floodgate would open. This is how I'm seeing it. You would think, oh, I'm just gonna tell them that I have feelings for them. But then all of a sudden, all of this stuff is coming out, and like you've opened a dam and you can't stop it. And some of you guys might feel like, oh shit, I've overshared. I've said too much. Especially like, I'm just imagining if you guys have experienced a psychic connection with this person, you might, for example, start talking about that. Like, I think I've had a past life with you. I think we were like in another world together, you know, start to share all about that stuff. And then feel like, oh crap, maybe I said too much. Maybe I weirded them out. There's this feeling of you guys being worried that you said too much. And if I'm being honest, after you make this move, I feel like you wouldn't hear from this person for some time. And that can be very, very nerve-wracking. Especially if you already have it in your head that you said too much, or you said something that you weren't supposed to say. You could really, really start to get in your head about it. Now, I think this person is just taking everything in. And what am I saying? I like always give this advice or heads up with the Knight of Swords. Whoever's doing the Knight of Swordsing, whoever's doing the spilling of guts, you have to give the other person time to process everything. You know, it's like, you gave me a 10-page essay, give me time to read it and to think about it, and I'll get back to you. So for some of you, this might even happen over text. Like, you send this person a bunch of really long texts, and then they don't respond, or they leave you unread, and you're like, oh shit, I totally turned them off. I totally freaked them out. I shouldn't have said anything. Like Hagrid, I should not have told you that. I should not have told you that. That will be like your energy. And what's happening is they're just thinking about it. They're just taking the time to soak it all in. But yeah, that can make you very, very anxious. But the long-term energy is the Ace of Swords. So they will be hitting you back. And I really like that because, and actually we have it in this deck. The Ace of Swords came out in another reading, but there weren't any clouds in it, so I couldn't give my analogy. I mean, I gave it anyway, but clouds represent confusion, unknowns, uncertainty. I just saw 2222. And the sword is the sword of truth and clarity that breaks through the confusion. So, and also I love the crown on it because it's like victory. It's like getting the outcome that you wanted. So you would hear back from this person and you would hear back in a positive way. They probably just took what you said to heart and needed a lot of time to plan their response. And so there would be a little bit of a delay. I think if you guys confessed to this person or made a move towards them, I don't think that you would get an immediate response. And I think that that would make you very anxious, but I think that there's nothing to be anxious about. I'm like shaking as I read this because I feel very, very excited. They would need time to think things through. And it's important to give them time to think it through. I would not follow up. Not like you're gonna mess anything up if you follow up. I just don't think it's necessary. Like they're already in reflection mode. They're already taking what you've said to heart. Should they maybe have been like, thank you for sharing that with me? Oh no, but maybe that would make you more nervous if someone was like, thank you for sharing that with me. I have to think before I respond. That would freak you out too. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to know how to navigate these things, but they will be back. They will be back with their clear and direct communication with the Ace of Swords. They will answer all of the questions that you had in your mind. They would put any doubts that you had in your mind to rest. And I think that ultimately everything would be just fine. Okay, so what will happen if you don't make a move, but you keep actively wanting them, hoping for them, waiting for them, asking about them? What will happen then? Hee hee hee. Sorry, that was a really weird laugh, but I was literally talking about the star and how I felt there was star energy here. Thank you very much, Miss Star, for gracing the reading. I love that. So if you don't make a move towards them, they're gonna make a move towards you. So like, it doesn't matter either way. someone's making a move towards someone. Let's just see what the long-term one is. What would, no, other way, so that you can see, there we go. Is that better? Can you see the whole card now? I feel like the bottom was cut off. Okay, long term, woo, there we go. All right, okay. So, okay, we literally have every zodiac sign here now. Because we have air signs, fire signs, water signs, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Taurus. We had earth sign here. So it doesn't matter what zodiac sign you are. But I still think spring and summer could be significant. I still am sticking with that. Okay, so, oh my goodness. Yeah, it doesn't matter like who initiates this. You're gonna talk about your feelings eventually. I feel like maybe waiting for them to come forward would be less stressful for you, because the waiting period, waiting for their response here seems really, really stressful. And I think that maybe when it came to the plan that you made with this person from a soul perspective, I think maybe you guys planned that they would come forward to you because, you know, we spoke about the major arcana being faded over here with the lovers, and then we have 2 major arcana coming out here compared to no major arcana with you coming forward first. Again, that doesn't mean you shouldn't. It's just that I think when your higher selves were like discussing your coming together, you decided that your person, the person you're asking about, was going to make the move. Maybe that's really important for them, especially if they're healing their sacral chakra, if they're healing their solar plexus chakra, if they're working on their confidence, if they're working on feeling like their emotions are valid. Maybe there's something very empowering for them about initiating and about being reciprocated by you and feeling like it was their doing and their idea. I don't know. There's different reasons that souls choose to have different experiences. What I am blabbing on about is just speculation, but probably you know your person better than I do, so maybe it makes sense for you why it would be like important for them to make this move. But that's what it looks like for me with these two major arcana coming out here. And with this being represented by the star, maybe a lot of you guys weren't really expecting that they would make a move towards you, because the star kind of is this feeling of a wish coming true that seems too good to be true. I'm just imagining an aspiring artist who really wanted to collaborate with a bigger artist, and they were like, I'm gonna send them a letter and I'm gonna let them know how much they inspire me and ask them to work with me. Oh no, I couldn't do that. And then the big artist by themselves reaches out to the smaller artist and is like, I want to work with you. I'm not saying your person is bigger than you. I'm just saying it's the same feeling of, I thought I would have to be the one. I never thought that they would go out of their way to reach out to me. This is so surreal. Like, maybe some of you guys have that feeling of, them initiating and them making the first move to you is just too good to be true. But it's not, because I think that if you guys just hold your horses, no pun intended, kind of intended, then they will be making a move. And then the long-term outcome is the Empress, which is literally love. Unconditional love, unconditional acceptance, bounty, and fruitfulness and prosperity for the future ahead. This is a beautiful, beautiful connection and a beautiful, beautiful union. I feel like that will happen anyway, even if you're the first one to make a move. Again, I just feel like this was the original plan for your souls. Like, they would be the one to make a move, and it will be a little bit less nerve-wracking for you. Could be a little bit nerve-wracking for them, but I guess their soul wanted to have that experience of facing their nerves, facing their fear. What would happen if you moved on with your life? So the short-term outcome is 3 of Cups. The long-term outcome is the Emperor. Oh, cool. So we have the Empress and the Emperor coming out. So if you guys choose to move on with your life, the 3 of Cups, it kind of has a bittersweet energy for me. And it really depends on the context of the reading. Sometimes it's just like totally happy. Other times it feels kind of bittersweet. In this one, to me, it feels a little bit bittersweet. I think that if you guys did choose to move on from this person, you would be sad, which is totally normal. But I feel like you guys, most of you don't really want to move on. And so if you were to force yourselves to move on before your heart really wanted to, you would have to it's almost like you have to do something to mask that pain. The 3 of Cups is a very light-hearted and fun and playful, even kind of frivolous energy. And sometimes I see it as someone who is like partying and stimulating themselves in whatever way to avoid a deeper situation or to avoid a pain that they need to address. And so I feel like moving on at this point, in some ways, it might be kind of dishonest with yourself because your heart isn't there. Your heart doesn't want to do that. And I think your heart would keep nagging you. So you would have to, I don't know, like go out with other people or go to parties or use substances if that's something that you do, just to get back in the moment and feel enjoyment and feel something and not have to think about how much you miss this person. I think it would be really hard to get over this person if your heart wasn't in it, and you cannot You can't force yourself to move on. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever seen someone who can force themselves to move on in my years of reading. Like, if your heart's not there, it's not there. With the Emperor here, this is about empowerment and confidence and independence, feeling sure of yourself. So what this is showing me is that, you know, we were speaking about one of the big things of this connection being about finding your confidence and feeling proud of what makes you special, feeling really firm in knowing who you are and that you don't have to change yourself. I think that you would reach this goal, you know, whether you do it with this person or not, you will reach this goal. I just think that you guys wanted to do it together, like your souls wanted to do it together. If that doesn't end up happening, that's okay, but looking at the way the cards have played out for you, the energy looks really, really favorable for things to come through. Of course, this is general reading, and there may be some of you who have really been considering to move on. I want to tell you that you will still learn all of the lessons that your soul wanted to learn. You will still reach the successes that you wanted to reach. It's kind of like you'll go through a grieving period, you'll go through a period of distracting yourself from how you really feel. Eventually you will become this Emperor. And I guess I want to ask you guys, when you look at this Emperor, do you think he might have some kind of like lingering feeling in his heart, might have some kind of what if in his heart? I don't know if he does or doesn't. I'm just asking you like what you feel intuitively when you look at this Emperor. If I could give you my opinion, I would say that this connection is worth the wait. It is worth having faith. It is worth the shot. Your guides are even asking you to have optimism, to be perseverant, to keep praying, because your prayers will be answered. And it just seems like moving on at this point would be kind of, yeah, like not genuine, not honest to yourself. I will say the Emperor is kind of a rigid and stubborn energy. And I wonder if he doesn't have some unfulfilled desires in that old heart of his, but that's as far as I am seeing for you guys in this connection. So to finish off this reading, we are going to get some messages from your person. This is an oracle deck that was created and sent to me by a subscriber. Thank you very much if you're watching, by the way. And I believe this is their first deck that they've created, so I'm really happy for them. And if you guys like this deck, it will be linked in the description. Of course, all of these decks will be linked. But let's see what your person wants to say to you. Ooh. Be patient, the time will come. Ooh. Yes. So this could be this person saying yes to you, or if you had a particular doubt or question in your mind when you're watching this reading, the answer is yes. I am feeling that this is a positive yes, that you guys wanted a yes. And things were complicated, but now I'm ready. You see how it says now I'm ready, not I will be ready or I was ready. It's now. So I feel like this could be happening quite soon for you guys. Again, if you are in the northern hemisphere of the earth and you're watching this video when it's uploaded, then the spring season is coming very soon. And the summer season is coming just after that. But of course, it's a timeless reading and you guys are all over the world. But I really don't feel like you would have to wait that long for this connection. And actually, I did this for another group, but you guys have like the number 3 and 6, so that could be 3 to 6 months, could even be like 3 to 6 weeks if that resonates more for you guys. But these are all, oh, at the bottom it has don't give up just because the situation is not ideal. That might just be for some of you. I don't feel like it's for everybody. But maybe it's like a long distance situation or something like that, or somebody's quite busy or tied up right now. Again, I don't think that's for everybody, but I wanted to leave it there. So yes, these are all the messages that I am seeing for you guys. So I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. I also have a Patreon, so if you guys are interested in seeing even more exclusive pick-a-cards where you get to choose the topic, that will be linked down below too. I'm sending you guys lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!